In this video, we are going to take a look at how to update the program to a new version. Updating to a new version requires several steps, including downloading the new version, installing the new version, and then importing your latest schedule into this new version. So let's go through this process now. I've just launched my program and I have clicked the Go button, and I am being told that there is a new version of the scheduler available. I'm currently running version 7.03. The new version is 7.04. And I'm being asked if I would like to download it now. If I am curious as to what's new, I can click What's New. I will be then shown a screen which indicates what has been fixed and what has been added or changed in this version. I would always encourage you to download a new version. I'll click the Yes button. Once I've clicked the Yes button, the automatic download begins. If you are having trouble downloading, be sure to check your firewall settings to allow for FTP downloads. Once the download has completed, I am being given a choice whether or not I'd like to see instructions on how to update. If you're still new at updating, I suggest you click Yes. It will give you step by step how to update the program to the new version. You can then read that, or you can actually print that out for future reference. I'll click Close for now. I have now downloaded the program. The next step is to install the new version. To do that, I must first exit out of my existing weekly work schedule. Next, I need to locate the file I have just downloaded. I will go into my weekly work schedule installers directory and notice that there are two files currently in this folder, the previous version and the new version. I want to double-click the latest installer and allow the software to install on my computer. I must agree to the license terms and then click the Install button. The program will now proceed to install and update itself. Once finished, you'll be presented with a screen which contains an important README file. I highly encourage you to click on this button in order to open this README file. Please read the contents of this file. It may contain last-minute information to help you with trouble-free operation. Once you have installed the software, you will notice there is a new version file in your weekly work schedule files folder. This version is weekly work schedule 7.04. This is the actual workbook that we will use to update our schedule to the latest version. We must double-click and launch this new workbook. This workbook will be blank. Once the workbook opens, we must allow it to initialize. Once initialized, we can then proceed to import our latest schedule into this new version. Notice that I do not need to log in order to have access to the Import button. I will click the Import button, and then I will browse to my latest work schedule. In this case, it's weekly work schedule 5/4/2015. Click the Open button, and you'll also have an opportunity to check this box. This box says I've already started a new schedule. Import employee hours and other settings too. I'll want to check this box if I have already put hours onto the schedule. Click OK, answer Yes, and the program will now import all of the settings, hours, employees, everything to do with your weekly work schedule into this new version. Don't be alarmed if the progress screen sometimes disappears. That is a function of Excel and is nothing to be worried about. The screen will come back. Once the process has completed, you will be presented with a completion screen indicating that the import was successful. Click OK, and you have now imported all of your settings, employees, and hours into the new version. The last step is very important. You must save this schedule, but you cannot save until you log in. Notice that all of the settings from the previous version are brought over into this new version, including our login information. So your username and password still apply. Once logged in, I can now proceed to save the schedule. Click the Save button, and I must select option 1 since this is a new schedule that I have just imported. Notice that the name will be saved as Weekly Work Schedule 5/4/2015. That is the same name we used when we imported. Therefore, overwriting the schedule with the new version. Click OK, and once this has been saved, you are now working with Weekly Work Schedule 5/4/2015. However, it is now in version 7.04 versus 7.03 previously. Once again, the process to import and update is to download the new version. Once you have run the installer, you will find a new version file in your weekly work schedules folder. That version file matches the installer version. In this case, it was 7.04. You must launch this blank workbook, select Import, browse to your latest weekly work schedule, and import that latest weekly work schedule. Once imported, use the Save button and save it using the same name as the version you have imported, essentially overwriting your schedule with the new version file. That completes our look at updating and importing.